7 July 2020, and today I want to give you an update on 2 court cases that were brought by the 8 senators and 5 MPs that were recalled by Thokozani Kupe and Douglas Ngonzora. And these are very interesting papers that were presented in the High Court. And the most interesting thing I saw in these papers is that the MDC Alliance MPs of Nelson Chamisa admit to not having the nomination forms. So they don't have a copy of the nomination form that was presented to ZEC. I found that very, very interesting, and I'll talk more about that. But what I want to say is that there are 2 court cases, they are agent court cases that were filed at the High Court yesterday. And in these court papers, the 8 senators and the 5 MPs, they want to interdict Douglas Ngonzora, Thokozani Kupe, MDC Tsvangirai, member of the Parliament of Zimbabwe, ZEC, chairman of ZEC, Senate of the Senate, from replacing the recalled representative of the MDC Alliance. This is very strange because in public, it seems as if the people are saying, we don't care that we're recalled. But in private, they're going to the High Court. They keep going back to the High Court. In fact, there are, if I'm not mistaken, 7 court cases at present. So that is HC 3318, HC 2308, HC 2351, HC 2356, and HC 2847. And then these 2. So we have 7 court cases relating to the recall of MDC Alliance MPs. So the High Court has a job to do. They have to deal with these cases and bring this matter to finality. And you will see as I go through the arguments what I mean. The cases have got strengths and weaknesses, and I'll go into this, but I want to start with arguments. So the 8 senators were recalled on the 30th, and the 5 MPs were recalled on the 23rd. However, these agent court cases were only brought on the 7th. So I don't know if the court is going to agree that these are agent court cases, but the applicants are saying, if we do not bring this court case now and it's not heard, will be replaced. That's why it is agent. Now let's go into the arguments. There are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arguments that I want to go through. The first argument is Ngonzora does not have a position as Secretary General of the MDC-T, not of the MDC Alliance, of the MDC-T. These court papers say there are 3 parties: the MDC, the MDC-T of Tsvangirai, and the MDC Alliance. They do not see MDC of Thokozani Kupe. It is specific. They say that in this court case. And they say that Ngonzora ceased to be an SG when his term expired of the MDC. Right. I think this is very, very clear. They are looking at it as 3 political parties. Ngonzora is not an SG of any political party, not even the one of Thokozani Kupe. Then they are going to say MDC Tsvangirai was on the ballot paper, that is the party of Thokozani Kupe. MDC Alliance was also on the ballot paper. And they do not make a difference between MDC Thokozani Kupe, MDC Tsvangirai. They are saying these parties, the MDC Tsvangirai is the one that Kupe had. They are saying MDC Alliance is a political party. That is the argument. And then they're also saying the MPs and senators were recalled, but they were not given a chance to be heard. They are saying the Electoral Act does not allow a replacement that was done. So the recall is not allowed. The way they recalled these MPs under MDC Alliance, but recalled by someone who is in MDC-T, is not allowed. Then they're saying there are many pending court cases about the same case or about the same issue that are not yet finalized. So these cases that I already indicated to you, they're saying then the court should interdict Monzora, Kupe, and MDC Chwangrai from acting before these court cases are heard. Right, there is no requirement for the political party to provide a constitution. That's one of the arguments. So MDC Alliance was not supposed to provide a constitution. The speaker cannot make the decision which result in the merging of two parties. So the fact that Thokozani Kupe now has MPs that were voted under MDC-T and others that were voted under MDC Alliance, the applicants are saying that means the court or parliament has merged two parties and the Speaker of Parliament does not have the powers to do that. The MDC Constitution does not allow Monzora to write letters without the authority of the Executive and the National Council. Then there is no provision for the summary dismissal of members. Very, very interesting, in my view, the way these lawyers have presented this case. There is a very big risk of losing this case. From what I can see, I'm not a lawyer, but I can already see there is a lot of weaknesses in this case. So let's go to the strength. The strength in this case is that a similar case by Tabitha Kumalo has succeeded. So Tabitha Kumalo managed to interdict Monzora and Kupe from replacing her. And I think Lillian Timvias. However, this court case was immediately appealed. So there's an appeal, I'm sure, at the Supreme Court or the High Court regarding the same issue. So these guys didn't mention it here in this court case. And then let's go to the weaknesses in this case. The first one is that the MPs and senators do not have the nomination forms that were taken to ZEC. What if the nomination forms say MDC-T? How do they know? And you know that many documents in MDC Alliance were written MDC-T. What if these papers were written MDC-T? There's just a possibility there because MDC Alliance was using many documents from MDC-T. The applicants, they seem to be dismissing the Supreme Court ruling. The way they argue this case, it's as if the Supreme Court ruling did not happen. Chamisa is continuing to pretend that the Supreme Court ruling did not happen. I think that is a mistake. And I don't think the High Court can ignore the fact that a Supreme Court ruling exists. Then, of course, the fact that Kupe and Monzora were specifically reinstated, the 2014 structures. I don't think the Supreme Court, the High Court can ignore that fact. Then, the proportional representative MPs are not elected. They are on a party list. And the moment it is proven that the Supreme Court ruling has not been stretched, because that's what they're saying, it means the whole case for these 8 senators and 5 MPs who are proportional representative MPs falls away. I find this to be a very, very strange case. The lawyers is Musendekwa Mitsi, legal practitioners. And I think the lawyer here is Mbizo, Mchadehama, and Makoni. These are the law firms that I can see here. I don't know who is the advocate and who is the lawyer there, the law firm. What I want to say in conclusion is Chamisa and the strategy that he has taken, it's a long way. He could have taken a shorter way. I have a feeling that Chamisa got bad advice here in this court case. And I hope that I'll be proven wrong. I don't think the High Court is just going to dismiss the Supreme Court ruling. Because this is basically what this case is about. They are questioning the Supreme Court ruling in the High Court. I don't think they're going to succeed. But let us see what happens. The fact that they went to court without the nomination form, for me, very, very sloppy. In fact, if I was them, I wouldn't challenge this court case. Because even if the court is heard, that question is going to arise. How were you nominated? By whom were you nominated? What was the form saying? Very, very interesting. The Supreme Court ruling, is it being stretched? Is Douglas Monzora not the Secretary General of MDC-T? Is MDC-T the same as MDC of Thokozani Kupe? These are the questions. And the National Council, did it sit or not? These questions are going to arise. And given the fact that Douglas Monzora, Thokozani Kupe are back at Harvest House, this makes for a very, very interesting outcome. And I want to end with offering my condolences to President of the MDC Alliance, Nelson Chamisa, whose mother passed away yesterday. So, very, very sorry to hear about that. I saw on a tweet, Chamisa said that his mother passed away after collapsing in her garden. Very, very sorry to hear about that. And thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on WhatsApp, send it to as many people as possible. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, please like, comment, and share.